fearless. He likes to play on the front foot. He likes his tactics. Very well versed in the opening as well. He's kind of the typical player who's been brought up in the computer generation. He loves to calculate. He loves to be very direct if possible. And we've seen that in his games. That's why he's had a few defeats. Everyone does. But he's also had some great victories because he's not scared to go for the opponent. And here we see a queen's pawn opening. Up until this last move, it was following the game Neiman Carlsen. I'm glad this one's still going now, but maybe Carlsen will show us why he was so scared of continuing that game with black.
Because this is good for white?
This is a very typical opening. It's now what we call the Nimzo Indian defense, and this last move is maybe the riskiest, one of the most provocative moves. It's asking black to capture the white knight with the dark square bishop. There we go, there's been an exchange, but white gets these doubled pawns now on the c-file, and long term, that's pretty much an eternal weakness. In return, white gets the bishop pair, 2 bishops now. Black in return has a bishop and knight combo, and white will try to occupy the center. Magnus making a bit of a face there, maybe not expecting that move. Black had a bunch of options. Black could also have pushed a couple of different pawns, and this is the critical try. White is getting ready to build the ultimate pawn center. If white's pawn in front of his king can step forward 2 squares, he'll control the whole deal pretty much 3 or 4 moves away. Christopher Yu has to try and profit from that. In the meantime, okay, this knight move, it is known there is a big threat. Black's queen was threatening to jump out with a nasty check, but Magnus is ready to block that with his knight if he needs to. The white knight looks a bit odd, but it can retreat to the f2 square where it will sit nice and defensively. g4. You see this before, Simon?
No, I mean, I was happy obviously to see black move in the f-pawn because it resembles my favourite opening, which is called the Dutch, but I haven't seen this g4 move, David. Is this still, or Jovanka in theory? I mean, I guess it is.
I think it is.
Still theory. Magnus Carlsen actually played this with white pieces against Alexander Morozovich. That was
defense.
Yeah.
It's going to be a brilliant finish today. We're going to have 2 games left after this. I mean, who knows who's going to qualify and play who tomorrow? It's going to be so exciting.
I know. Yeah.
There've literally been times as well on the tour that it's come down to the last few moves in order to see who gets through. Often one player's finished, waiting, hoping that another game goes their way, and hoping that a certain result appears. Meanwhile, Magnus, he's safe, he's through to the knockouts, but he dropped his bishop back, attacking black's rook, and the rook shuffled into the corner. Whoa, that's not a square you want to use.
He's trying everything to defend this, but this is like, the bishops are just, it all started with this beautiful pawn sacrifice that Magnus played. He played this, as you said, alpha zero kind of move to get the bishops working in such a beautiful way. It's been a great game so far, this one. Really, really good. Just got to now coordinate a little bit better with the rook. How do you move it? Do you try to attack the bishop? Do you try to get it to check the king one file forwards? Which you can't do at the moment. There's many sort of tempting options on there.
I know, a lot of tempting moves. Like I was thinking you could just go pawn hunting, but he's gone for attacking the bishop. Still feels like black's king is walking such a tightrope. I feel like it's going to get checkmated any time now, with those 2 bishops like sniffing around.
Yeah, it's looking very dodgy. Oh dear. It's never nice moving your piece back to... If he just moves his knight back, he's got, them all in the starting squares, ready for the next game. So, get them set up. So,
I think we might see checkmate end this game. It feels like the black king has got almost 0 escape squares. He's only got the 1 next to it right now. And Magnus, he can give a check with his light square bishop, he can give a check with his rook.
Think, what's my opponent going to play next? And try to find a move for your opponent. And again, if you get into the habit of doing that, this is why Magnus might play the quiet move. He's doing that. I think he's thinking, what can my opponent move next? And most of the moves that black can play lose something actually here. So this is just a great way to think when you're playing. So he's moved the king, but now he's lining it up to a bishop check at some point. Okay, and he's closing the net around the king here with that pawn.
The deadly threat now is for white's rook to step 1 square further forward onto the 7th rank.
1 second.
That black king.
Did he make a move? Yeah, he did. Yeah,
He made it.
seconds left.
Oh, but
That's it. Look at that rook. It's going to give a check. King is forced to step backwards. Game over. It is over, but what a fight from Christopher Yu against the world champion.